We discussed customers, competency we are aware, we need, obviously, if we're going to run a hotel, I think one of us should at least know how to chop some onions and, slice some potatoes, okay. Some competency is needed. Is it good enough? Sometimes a lot of students come to me and say, sir, we have project team together, and how did you come as a team together? Sir, by roll numbers, okay. And because of which we come with this project, and now that we have done this project, we think it's a great product that I can take to the market, and please help us. My job as chief mentor is to obviously mentor everyone who comes and says I have an idea. So what do I do? Can teams be formed with roll numbers? Then how are teams formed? If no, then obviously my next question is how. See, that's the easiest way. Roll number 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. We make groups in our class and say how do we do that? All even numbers one side, odd numbers another side. Make a group. Yesterday we don't know. We made groups out of few. The only thing that we had in mind is we should not have two faculties from the same institute, in the same team. Obvious reasons. So we said, okay, let's make team. But did we really understand whether you have the competency when we sent you out on the field? Did we really take the pain to understand, is Sanjeev and Venu, what kind of skills do they have, and Usha, will she fit into the team? Did we do that? We should have, no? If we sent you out and said, okay, come back with a multi-million-dollar idea, shouldn't we have taken the effort to understand the teams? We should have, right? We couldn't, because it's a classroom simulation. Here I am trying to make a point. Is there a skill? Is there some blood test that 6 people's blood test will find out, and if all these blood groups are there, then it's a good team? Or can we see 6 people's horoscope and decide whether they are going to be successful? So can we match 6 people's horoscope and decide whether this team is good? Then what? My question is, if no, then what is the yes?
Everyone should possess different abilities.
Different abilities, okay. Ashutosh? Come on. Simple question. How do we form groups? Look at ourselves, We want to go out. We want to go out on a hike. Has anybody here is a active hiker? Who goes out on hikes and treks and all? Area of interest, of course, area of interest is there because that is how they have come together. So that reason is there. But how do you form that group? My question. There is no definitive answer. If there was a definitive answer, I would be a multi-billionaire, because then I would patent that whole algorithm and give it on license basis to everyone. Download this algorithm, use it, and form the best teams, and you will be. There's no definitive answer. So I'm asking you. Maybe I don't have an answer. So I can only tell you what I have experienced. Different nature, yeah, I think all we agree that there has to be some amount of diversity. I think that is what we have all realized, that same thinking people is not something, connectedness, yes, fair enough. But I think there's a general consensus. I can see that everybody is saying that, we need different people here. Like in a bouquet, really looks good if you have different color flowers and, some phool patta here and there. It looks very beautiful. Just one pink roses might look good, but others you really need to make a bouquet. I think you need different color flowers. So I think we agree that there has to be diversity. So let me write down diversity. Diverse. Second, what? These are all characteristics of good human beings. Future son-in-laws, future daughter-in-laws, good students. They are all good characteristics. You should be honest, integrity, technically skilled, good communication skills. We are not talking of individuals. We are talking of teams. First thing, we have all agreed that it has to be diverse. That means you can't have people with the same skills. Okay, hunt together, somebody should have leadership skill. Yeah, it's all needed. What's the other? Only two basic things, very two basic things I want to drive home. Because we are not experts, we are not psychologists or psychoanalysts to talk about. Yes, Sanjeev.
They should be ready to flow in one direction to achieve their mission of organization.
Okay, they should all be motivated, they should go all one. What is others? Other most important characteristic of a good team. One is diverse, second is, okay, I'll give you a hint. Who's this lady? Sunita Williams, right? She's gone to space all over again. Okay, now she's gone to space. What do you think her role would be there when she's there? She's going to be there for the next 6 months. She's some scientist, no? I'm sure that 50% of the time at least she'll end up doing some, science of her things. Analysis, whatever she's, some meteors or something. What's the other 50%? She'll be doing. She'll handle something else, yes. What else? When we send astronauts to the moon, no? Because since it is a limited number of seats, you can't have one guy who will cook food, one guy who will clean the aircraft from the inside, one guy who will go out and, to Mars and bring some vegetables. We can't have one guy who will drive the aircraft, one guy only to do experiments, one guy to do programming. Can we afford that? We will need people with multiple skill sets. One is diversity of team, second is multiple skill sets. Okay, focus. These are, I'm saying that we have figured out these two as must haves. When I'm saying diverse backgrounds. Why do we need diverse backgrounds? Diverse does not mean that one from mechanical, one from civil, one from this.
Because it brings perspective from different angles you view a same problem. So that enriches your solution generating capability as well.
Okay, good. Diverse people, obviously, no? I mean, the whole Darwin's theory is based on that form that life has evolved because it is diverse, and life has a very fundamental mechanism of choosing what is best. If you put two things, good bad here, life will choose the two goods from here and make something very extraordinarily better. So that is what evolution is all about. It's the evolutionary theory. So obviously we need people with multiple skills so that we can take all the goods, and some of the negatives will get cancelled out. Okay, like if I'm very rude, okay, but I'm good in some job, I need to be counterbalanced by a guy who's maybe diplomatic enough to talk to people, okay, but maybe not so good in C programming. Yeah, diverse according to me generally mean they should have diverse socio-economic background. I'll tell you why. Because to take back and to a basic framework, we look at three things for a good team. One is something called as risk propensity. Past demonstrated record. And connectedness. Don't get confused. I'm not trying to confuse you on this, but three core things are needed. What is risk propensity means? Some movie was released yesterday. There are some people who will rush and see that movie on that first day, first show, whatever, come what may. There are some people who will say, boss, I want to see that movie, but let 10 people see it, let me read in the newspaper, let friends and colleagues call me and let me know, and if I only know it is a good movie, then I will go. Both of them are spending the same amount of money for the tickets. It's not that the person who's seen later is spending less, so she wants to spend less. Our idea of rushing into something or taking that challenge varies. It's a graded thing. Okay, we have different types of risk. You give business needs 3 people to invest 10,000 rupees each. Okay, One father says 10,000 लेके जाओ यार, क्या फर्क पड़ता है, no? Take it 10. Other guy's father says, boss, 10,000 you take back. I don't want interest, but at least you should, if the business does not work, you should give me back 10,000. And the third guy's father says, boss, what 10,000? Why should I give you 10,000? Risk propensity changes. Okay. Amount remains the same. Business के लिए कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Business wanted 30,000 rupees. Business got 30,000 rupees. But three people's perception of the risk involved in putting the 10,000 changed. Generally, you should have people with. So all five people are afraid to put money. They are very good at putting efforts. Afraid to put money, not happen. So to that extent, I look at generally a socio-economic backgrounds are different. Everybody comes with different. And today in our classrooms, we have a great amount of social diversity in the class. I have seen, though they all wear the almost similar kind of dresses, but I think there is a greater social diversity in our classrooms today than what it was even 10 years, 15 years back. Second important thing is somebody comes and tell me, sir, I am great into this and solid, will not impress me at all unless I have a past demonstrated record. Sir, I have this great boy, he's done solid programming in C and I think he will be able to do. How can I believe you? Sir, last year there was a Google global competition and he was the guy who cracked the code and he got an award. That is past record for me. Something speaks in your resume or something speaks in your profile that gives me that confidence that this guy is good. Sir, he is going to look at finance. Are finance? What does he know? What does a 19-year-old boy in an engineering college know about finance? Is it right to expect? No. But sir, last year we had this annual day function and there was some 2 lakh rupees of sponsorship that had to be raised and this guy managed it. Gives me some confidence that kuch dum hai, because we don't have. In the absence of any apple to apple comparison features, I can only rely on past record to do that. Okay. And last is what I look at, though not really very important, is connectedness. So I will look at some kind of connectedness. Do you have some connectedness in this business? Yes. There is this professor from Stanford University. Okay, where is his book? Okay. No. Yeah. Ed Roberts. Okay. He found out and he says likelihood of technology driven startups succeeding increases dramatically if there are 3 or 4 founders rather than one. He did a study. Okay. He said that dramatically increases. He doesn't say just marginally increases. So if you're a technology startup, the chances of you succeeding will dramatically increase if you have 2 or 3 co-founders. Apple, how many co-founders? Names? Steve Jobs, Tim Wozniak, both Steves. Microsoft, how many? Microsoft. Actually 6, 7, but at least 2 very famous, right? Who are there? Paul Allen and there are 7 or 8 if you really look at it, but Paul Allen and our own company Infosys. 7 of them. Okay, actually 8 if you discount one guy called Mr. Ahuja who left in 1990. The other 7 have all continued together. Okay, 7. Okay, so my personal experience, 2 is good, maybe 3 is also good, maybe more than 2, 3 becomes an issue at a later date. Okay, when especially if you can't handle interpersonal skills. But as students, I would generally be very unhappy looking at some one guy, one man army coming and telling me, sir, I am good at everything. See, what is the age of your students when they come to you with these ideas? 19, 20. Just take yourself back all those years. What were you at 19, 20? So let's not put too much pressure on them, but let's at least make sure that if there are 2 or 3 guys, diverse backgrounds, we'll come down to why diverse backgrounds, multiplicity of skills. Somebody is good in something, somebody is good in. Chances of it to succeed, nobody says of succeed, of surviving is much better. This all goes back to a theory by, heard of a guy called Carl Jung? Okay, he did some work on what? Personality types, but more so personality types for creative problem solving. He said, okay, now what are the types of people in this world? Let's classify them as part. So he said there are two types of people. What are the two types of people? Extrovert, introvert. How do we know extrovert, introvert? Now, what is extroverted? Outgoing. Introverted? Keeping to yourself. Okay. Am I an extroverted person, introverted person? How can you say that? Because I keep on talking. Have you seen me talking to anyone when I sit alone? I don't. I don't even talk to Vasanti. Very difficult. Okay. But theory is there that there are some people who better connecting outside. There are some people who are better looking deeper inside. We should have both. No, we said no. We want diverse background. So maybe we should have extroverted. Then he said both extroverted and introverted people can be further classified as four types of people. Sensing, intuition, thinking, feeling. English is a very funny language. Huh? Most of the words will sound almost similar. You say, what are you meaning? Sensing and intuition, feeling, thinking. They all sound the same. Does it sound the same? Carl Jung doesn't think so. Carl Jung says two types of people, extroverted, introverted. Extroverted people also four categories. Introverted people also four categories. What are the four categories? Sensing, intuition, thinking, and feeling. Sensing. Let's come down to sensing. What does sensing mean? I can sense danger. Nonsense. Don't talk to me. This is nonsense. What does sense mean? We always use this word sense, but we really don't know. I also think what sense means. I come into the class and can sense that something is not good. Yeah, but based on what? How many sensory organs we have? 5. 5 sensory organs, no? Sight, sound, tongue, all 5 sensory organs. Something that I can feel. I come into the class, I see the sitting arrangement change. My eyesight tells me that something is wrong. I come into the class, something is not smelling right. I know there is a dead mouse in the corner. Okay, so my senses tell me. There are people who are very good at understanding their senses. We've seen people who don't have eyesight are maybe good at playing a musical instrument. So nature has a way of compensating for these senses. So there will be people who are good with senses. What is intuition? Sixth Sense, okay, good movie. What else? Predetermined, something I know. What is intuition? How many times we have betted on our intuition and said, yeah, I intuitively felt this is that. What is intuition? Where does it come from? This is a very important question.
Mechanism. It is a perceptual ability to understand something prior to it actually coming to pass.
So people say, where did it come from? Yeah, what it means, I know something, but I can't really put a finger and tell you where did I get this. But I had a feeling that this will go wrong. I had a feeling that this will definitely happen. There is an intuition feeling, okay? It is something that you can't explain. You can't put a finger. There is no formula. There is no mechanism. What? People say, initially, it is past karmas, subconscious. Something that has been programmed into you, not only when you are, when you are in the conscious mind, we use all the 5 senses, but when we sleep, what happens? Subconscious. All our 5 senses are down, okay, but something still happens in our mind. Some programming happens. subconscious. Some people say past life. There are various theories. We don't want to get into that. But intuition does not come from any of the sensory organs. It comes from gut feel. Gut feel is an outcome. I am saying that where does it come from? It comes from past things, conditioning of your subconscious. Conditioning. There's some conditioning has happened. Okay. Maybe, one of the reasons why the human beings survived, they had this instinct as they grew up in the jungles that, as night falls, an animal will attack. That is why we have this instinctive feeling that when we see anything in the dark, we tend to run. Even in your sleep, in your dream, have you had this dream that you have fallen down and your heart starts beating fast? Now, actually, did you actually fall? But then why did your heart's beat go up? Because something that was programmed in your subconscious, your physical body is only reacting to that subconsciousness. That is an intuition feeling. It comes. You will find out that within people, there are people who rely a lot on intuition. Okay, they are not able to explain it to you why they think, but they have. What is thinking? Thinking is very simple. Thinking is brain, simple knowledge, data, algorithm, formula, put together, answer aa gaya, left hand side equal to right hand side. Thinking. I know how this works. I can explain it to you. I can give you theory behind this. I can give you a logic for this. This is my thinking type. What is feeling? Heart. Emotional. It comes from the heart. It has no, no love. Has no explanation why happened love. It's like if I were to assign an organ, I would say, sensing comes from the 5 sensory organs, intuition comes from my past life, thinking comes from my brain, and feeling comes from my heart. This is not important. What is important is the 4 parts that I have classified it. I have just said pre and post. What is pre and post? Before and after, now and then. What else? What does it mean? Pre and post. Why am I saying pre and post? There are typically 2 phases in your startup journey. One is when you are still struggling with prototype, idea validation, hoga ki nahi, kaise banegi, how much will it cost? You're actually prototype. Pre is the product before the product is launched. Post is now everything is ready. I need to figure out, boss, abhi isko market kaise kare? Yeah, will this work? Will this not work? So you have transcended that product part and you're saying that now I'm ready here. So this is post, this is pre. We may have 2 types of students in our class. Somebody who's struggling here, somebody who's, I have put 4 blocks. What does this 4 blocks means? Simple है ना, ऊपर का देखो ना, mathematics लगाओ ना. We need 4 types of people for free. We need 4 types of people for ideal. Yeah, this does not mean this is a rule. Please don't disqualify someone. This is a very, very ideal scenario. Okay, let's start by this block. Extroverted, understand about extroverted? Intuition. Extroverted, he's a very outspoken guy, outspoken girl. Okay, relies heavily on intuition. She is a or you can say a basic characteristic of an entrepreneur. Somebody who has that first kida in that mouth. Right. Yesterday when they went, 4-5 of them, everybody was seeing the crowd waiting at the bus stop, but the first guy who said, "Arey, people are waiting, maybe there's a problem." He's relying on intuition. He's an extrovert. He's able to very clearly communicate. So maybe here is the leader of that team. Okay, I'm just trying to draw an analogy over here. What will this guy do? He's an extroverted guy, relies on senses. That means for him, sight is important, visual is important, this and that. What will he do? Professor Amarnath asked you to do an exercise yesterday. He will quickly get into making a prototype. He's a prototyper. You can describe, like, they say picture speaks 1,000 words. You heard the phrase, no? A picture is worth 1,000 words. You tell somebody very good idea, but I don't want to listen to you, draw it to me and give it to me. Use it with your children. They want to come back and describe, what happened in their school. You tell them that, forget it. Why don't you draw what happened in your class today? And look at the amount of detailing your child will actually put on that drawing, because now she is wanting to show everything that has happened in her class. It's not great art, but at the end of the day, the child is learning to think visually. It's a very powerful tool. Try it in your classroom with your students. This type of a person is also needed here. You of course need an entrepreneur. You of course need somebody who will do a prototype. Then we move to an introverted type. Why do we need an introverted guy but who relies on senses? What does senses guy do? I told you. Data. He looks at all senses. Does it look good? Is there data available? Can I validate that? He is more of an investigator. आईपी सर्च है ना, कल बोला था, वो ये बंदे को बोलो करने को. He will go, he will give all keywords, search, document, pull out all data. Okay, this is the guy. ये गाय ने क्या बनाया? प्रोटोटाइप बनाया, क्विकली पेपर का मॉडल बनाया, लेगो में से डिजाइन किया. अच्छा, दिस प्रोडक्ट विल लुक लाइक दिस, प्रोटोटाइप गुड. दिस गाय केम अप विद दैट आइडिया. दिस गाय केम अप विद एन search. Acha, this idea looks good. I've also done an IP search and nobody is there in this space. Good. Investigation. He has used his introverted sensing skills. Introverted intuition guy. He does not rely on anything else. Somebody has to write that business plan, no, छोटा सा, कि कहाँ से आया data, how was the prototype made, what analysis we used, what algorithm we used. Generally, entrepreneurs are bad with paperwork. Let me tell you, very bad. You ask them to write a one-page note. One of my first techniques to really see if somebody is genuinely interested in the business, or see, one of my jobs is what is called as the phone and entrepreneur. In any you go and say, I have this great business idea. First thing they will say is, please talk to Raj. This is his email ID. So if I'm a mentor, I have to tell them, very good, very nice idea, but right now I'm in the middle of something. Why don't you do one thing? Why don't you send me a 2-page note on what your idea is? I have yet to come across an entrepreneur who send me an actual 2-page note. Either he'll send me a 50-page business plan, which has already got it done, or he'll send me a half-paragraph email. Entrepreneurs are bad. I've been an entrepreneur myself. I know paperwork is something that doesn't just go with this kind. You feel this is good enough to get your prototype off the ground? Good enough? ठीक है ना? I have somebody idea. कोई तो छोटा सा उसका प्रोटोटाइप बना देगा, फटाफट इन्वेस्टिगेट करेगा, क्या एल्गोरिथम लगता है, सब क्या डेटा, किधर किधर मार्केट शेयर किधर मिलेगा, क्या है. Somebody will do the strategy, lay it out on a proper format. Really. Okay. Let's come down to post. We need people, no, different types. See, unfortunately, what we can't have these guys come here, right? We ideally need these different types of people, but as small companies, can we afford these types of people? No. तो थोड़ा ये कार्ल जंग आदमी है ना, he was 150 years back. He did not realize that the world is getting fragmented. Here a person can have multiple. Now we have schizophrenia. No, what is schizophrenia? I think I am what I am, and I also think I am somebody else. So maybe, maybe we need to figure people with multiple skill set. Don't take it seriously. Psychology is a very great subject. I love it. I'm just trying to see what I can learn from psychology and apply it to simple business sense. That is my whole objective. Okay. So this, let me quickly run you through this, and you can figure it out. typically a guy who does customer management, customer relationship management, somebody who looks after your production systems, make sure that all the products are shipped out on time, somebody who keeps control on all the things. You may want to call him a CEO, COO. CEO and innovator could be different. Huh? You know Google CEO, who was it? Till some time back. Who was the Google CEO? A guy called Eric Schmidt. Okay? Eric Schmidt is 55 years of age. Larry Page and Sergey Brin are 28, 29 years of age. There's a almost father's age. But they hired him as a CEO. Okay, now he has been, of course, shifted out. Okay, but for a long period of time, for Google to succeed, innovator entrepreneur is different, reviewer, CEO different. Okay, possible. Steve Ballmer, much better CEO. Okay, very rarely you get somebody who has a combined skills of, you know, innovator plus reviewer plus, you know, everything. Don't try to hope for that. Try and understand that we need people with diverse backgrounds. I would typically call this as sales, CRM, this as manufacturing, this probably as, you know, COO, this more as finance. This is not critic, but critic, CRITQUE, who looks at things very rationally based on data. It does not go by the sales guy saying, sir, अगले month में 10,000 pieces अपना बिकने वाला है. Okay, he goes purely by, he is an introverted guy, feeling. Why was this template discussed? Not that you have to take this template and sit in your classroom and do it. It's a basic fundamental understanding of human types, human nature, and we can see whether our teams are in the class, whether they follow. Don't use this. This is not God's grid of that has been, you know, given for entrepreneurships. Okay, this is just to understand that human beings can come in different packages. We need to be very clear that we need to have diverse people. We need to have multiple skills. We want to do a quick role play. Okay, my question when we fundamentally designed this game is, the entrepreneur is at the age of 21, 22. He has maybe a advisor in the form of a faculty in his classroom or something like that, but he doesn't have really a father figure who can, you know, really get down with him and understand, you know, and design. Most of the guys look his age. Okay, how will he choose who is good for what job? How can we choose? He's a prototyper. There is a technique, there is an advanced technique called as MBTI. Please don't go in that direction. There's a technique. You can hire a consultant. Consultant will send you a nice bill. He will come and administer one questionnaire, and then questionnaire will actually give you the type of personality that you are. Okay, in the organization. But I'm saying that is a fairly complex and expensive route. If I am a 10 people company, more or less all are my age, they wear all the same jeans, they listen to the same music, how the hell do I know who's good at what? So what's the best way to find out? Ask them questions. Everything, I am done, everything good. Actually, this is more likely a case, right? 9 out of 10 will say, I am intuitive thinker also, and I am also extroverted feeler. Don't worry, I can do prototype, I can also do strategy. Don't worry, and we'll all be happy and we'll all be confused. Best, have you heard of a word called as crowdsourcing of wisdom? Somebody yesterday used the word co-creation. I don't know who, where did I heard. Okay, co-creation is now a new theory in management where we say that we are not smart enough to design the next level of product. So let us ask our customers what they want, and then we crowdsource the wisdom. Okay, and then we say, okay, crowdsourcing of this wisdom is good. So we now know what the customers. My funda is ask everyone what you think you should be doing and what you think the other guy should not be doing. Okay, this is an honest opinion. I am good at this, but I think that guy is not for that, which is okay, which is an honest opinion, honestly. Like I am good at marketing, but I don't think this guy should be in finance. I think this guy is good in finance, but I definitely think that other guy should not be in finance. So you crowdsource within your company. It's a good exercise, a very good exercise. It is like asking everyone, what do you think? Who should look at the marketing? Who do you think should be in the finance? Who do you think? And you ask this to everyone. Okay, it's crowdsourcing. And then of course you are the CEO, you are the owner of the company. You have to take a wise judgment on what it. Okay, chalo, out. We'll do this game, and then we will, quickly come out. Everyone out, step out. So instead of passing the parcel, we will throw the balls at. Okay, so you have to catch and then throw it randomly to anyone. Randomly within your just pick one randomly. As long as the music plays. Okay. The moment music stops, the person who's caught with the ball has to give the ball to the other team member, go out. There is actually a sheet of paper which you have to fill. Okay? This sheet of paper actually tells very quietly, don't write your name, don't sign. So your boss does not know what you have given as a feedback. What you have to do is, it has very simple things. It says for these functions, who I think is a driver. Driver, you understand? Somebody who can drive this. Rapid prototyping. I think this guy can rapidly well. There is a showstopper. Somebody who is not good. He will stop. And then there are some guys, does not matter. There are three kinds of people. Somebody who is very good, somebody is not so good, and somebody doesn't mind if he is there out the team. Okay? And every one of us will fill up this sheet. So what happens at the end of the round? The CEO gets, or the innovator gets how many sheets? 5, 6, 7, depending upon what his team members are. And then he has to sit. Now he has the views of the entire team. He knows exactly what everybody else is feeling about him, and then he can probably use that chart, some knowledge that he got from here, in defining how to make the team. Sound interesting? Yeah. Very good. Okay. Did we get a time to connect with each other and own the idea? No, right? So to this extent, this exercise does not make sense for us as a classroom activity. We just wanted to demonstrate to you how it can be done in your classroom. Okay, so don't think, I have to fill up this up right now and give it. Okay, it's not for you. This is typically for a team which has worked, brainstormed, come with this idea. Sir, prototype hum log ka ready hai. I really don't know now, where to go. I have come into your classroom seeking some help on, take this business. This is what our objective is, right? To take our students to the next level. That is for them. Why the ball? No significance. Why the music? Fun element. Okay, because we realize that without having fun, 19-year guys don't even update their Facebook status. Okay, so you have to add the element of fun into everything. So this music, the ball, the concept of the game was only to stimulate the fun activity. Why we said separately go out and fill? Because we don't want somebody to know what did he write about me. I am good at what? What does he know? Ki I am good at what? How can he say that I am not good at something? Here you are giving opinion on three kinds of people. Somebody who is really good at it, you think. Somebody who is definitely not good at it, you think. And somebody is chalta hai, nahi hai, doesn't matter. Okay? And you are taking everybody's opinion. Please understand, a small entrepreneurial organization is one of the most democratic institutions. Everybody has a right to say everything. We are still not reached a stage where the other people call the innovator as the boss or sir. Okay, it's a very democratic institution. You can visualize, right? They're all 22, 23, 24 years of age. They don't have a formal reporting